Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Tales of Octavia YouTube channel. Tales of Octavia is a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. My name is Francis and I am the Dungeon Master of the group, and welcome to another one of my DM Diaries where I talk about the latest session on our Twitch stream that we stream every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll also leave a link down in the description below and give some of my thoughts and try to understand some of the mistakes that I was either making or some of the mistakes that, or some of the things that my players were thinking that I could probably have thought ahead before time. And this session was a little bit slow, I wanna say, because overall nothing major has been accomplished yet. However, I did want to focus on a few things this session, and one was sort of get Maddie and Matt, aka William and Libby, back in the swing of things because they haven't been playing D&D for a while, and you know, it's something that they can, something easy for them to experience. You see, the players were traveling to Sophaphem, which is this mountain city that's essentially a different region. It's like traveling across states if you live in the US. And their mission is to solve the tremendous issues with this government, investigate what they're having trouble with, because Zalim's father believes that this is the result of an artifact. However, in order to do that, they have to build themselves up, because this is a completely different region, and they have to make a name for themselves. And to do that, they had to solve a big problem to get some notoriety. So simple stuff, right? So the party, after they escaped the giant's den, they arrived, or they continued traveling, fought some lizard folk, and then went to Sophaphem. The lizard folk encounter was something that, looking back on, I probably didn't need, and in hindsight, I mean, yeah, it was a thing that, you know, the party can use, and for the players to get used to their characters again. However, I've noticed that this time it's a lot more, I want to say, it was a lot more easier on their side, and it was a pretty short encounter. No complaints there. I think it did what it needed to do, which was to build the world in terms of world building, that these villages that have been trying to be set in the dead zones or in the deadlands has been riled by nature. And secondly, that it gives the party a little bit more resources in terms of gold and potions, because that's one thing that out of game my players sometimes stress about, and essentially are trying to accommodate that with their builds, which is definitely something needed, but gives them a little bit more flexibility because they are quite limited with gold. Secondly, as soon as they arrived, they went to a town called the Bearded Dragon, which is this tavern in the lower districts. They met Jaya and her companion Esther, this couple that owns a tavern in the lower districts, and they're essentially the only tavern open. Several people have gone missing in the middle of the night and turned up dead the following morning, which is one problem that the party could have encountered. And the other being the water supply in the district is tainted by some sort of unknown entity. They have no idea what, and because of the problems that the government is facing and the problem that House Kamava, the ruler of the city, is having, they are distracted and they can't deal with it. So the party decides to go into the sewers, and that was pretty much where we left off. And they got separated, which is fun, because splitting the party is always fun. It was a decent session. I mean, overall, I want to say that the session was pretty fun. I mean, this, like I said before, this was more of a getting back to normal session, and sort of to build upon Sophaphem, which I guess was... I just don't know, because one of my biggest problems as a DM is sometimes it feels like I don't know what the players... I don't know if the players like it or they don't like it. So every time when they continue the session, they're like, it's okay. And to me, it's okay is not okay, because, you know, as a DM, you spend so much time and so much preparation that the players probably don't know about, and you want bigger things and you want them to be excited more and more. To me, I think that I think my communication was probably off this episode. I do recall sometimes, especially when we were getting into the city, where my brain kind of just fumbled a bit. I think that next time, maybe if I was a bit more descriptive, I don't really know, maybe, I don't know. Because honestly, I'm at a loss, and I wonder if you have that same problem. Let me know in the comments below. It's this, I can't really describe it, but it's this feeling that you're not doing good and you're not doing bad, you're doing okay, which is not okay, because I want something better. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Well, anyways, thank you so much for listening. Like I said, for our game, the game that I'm talking about was from last Monday's stream, and we stream our game every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Tales of Octavia. I'll also leave a link down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. So, bye guys.
She just doesn't reciprocate the same feelings.
I just wrap an arm around his shoulder and go, that's rough, buddy. That's rough, buddy.
He begins crying in a tissue. And a napkin.
Just leaning over to Kate. Should we put him out of his misery? This is pathetic.
You mean like kill him?